Now that you've had your ClearCheck training, I hope that this recap video is able to provide you with any additional information needed to get you started with ClearCheck. To launch, simply go up to Tools, Scripts, select the latest version of ClearCheck, and hit Run. When you first run ClearCheck on a patient, if there's no templates already brought in, you're going to have to assign them in the Template Manager, which is where we are now. Simply go over to the filter bar and type in what you're looking for, add it to the patient, and you can begin customizing this template for this exact patient. Choose from the different structures in your plan to correspond with whatever's in the template, and adjust your constraints as needed. From here, you can also build a structure check template with this icon below. Simply click on it, and it will generate the structure checks needed from the constraint list from before, and you'll be able to customize this on a per patient basis. Once you have your contours set up for structure checks, the next step would be to set up any margin expansions by hitting the plus sign down below, filling in your PTV over on the left under Extended Structures, and selecting your source structure as well from the list. Entering in your symmetric margin in this red box here will give you a starting point, and if you want a symmetric margin, uncheck the checkbox. For nesting checks, the workflow is very similar. You can add a check, your expanded structure on the left, and your source structure on the right. This check verifies that the GTV is completely inside of the PTV. Once you have your structure checks, head on over to Plan Checks and add whatever default template might be. Simply click on it and add it to your patient, and same goes for treatment prep checks. Once you're happy with everything that's been set up for the patient, hit the check mark in the top left to save and close out to return to the main window. Now that we have a template loaded for this patient, you'll see that we have lots of different constraints to look at and evaluate our plan. Our green check marks are passing constraints, red X's are failing, and blue triangles means that a value is falling between a range that we've set up in our goals. For instance, 107 to 110% is the max dose range, and we're in between it, so we see a blue triangle here. You're able to verify OK any conditional passing or failing constraint. Simply click on the checkbox and your credentials will be associated over on the right, as well as the date and time. Double click underneath it to add a comment. You'll see now that the blue triangle has changed to a yellow check mark, which can be set up in admin for different colors. Moving on from our constraints, we also have our DVH, with our crosshairs automatically turned on. Right-clicking in the DVH brings up all the other options we currently have available for you. The text boxes above and to the side are totally customizable, so you can jump around your DVH and find a specific value you're looking for. Prescription checks, if using ARIA, will automatically bring in the prescription if linked. If not, you'd simply have to click on the drop-down and find the correct prescription you're intending to check. This check is turned on in the Plan Check section in Admin. Our structure checks and margin checks are shown here, as well as our plan checks and our treatment prep checks. To create a report from this setup of our constraints and all other types of plan information, simply hit the report button on the bottom left. If you have multiple report templates to choose from, click on the drop-down and you'll see a list of all the reports set up in admin that you'll be able to choose from for this patient. And now we're brought to our plan report readout. This is where we're going to see a general overview of all the different sections in ClearCheck that we're going to be printing. To turn any section off, simply click on a checkbox and it will be removed from the printout. And you can do entire sections as well if wanted. You can jump around the report using these sidebar clicks. You can see that we're going to be automating your CT slice information, which can be set up in admin under the report section. You can insert screenshots, and we also automate DRR generation as well as setup fields. Once you're happy with this, if you've set up the PDF to ARIA function in admin, simply click your PDF to ARIA button and it'll push this document to the patient documents in ARIA. If not, simply save it as a PDF and have that location on hand so that you can import it afterwards. To check out our portal dosimetry workspace, simply come up to the top and click on our portal dosimetry client button. This will open up the analysis that was done in Eclipse and display your portal dosimetry results and gives you the option to push them to your report for easy printing. As you can see, we can see our predicted dose and our portal dose, an overlap between the two, as well as our dose profiles. Clicking on this button will push the data to ClearCheck. To access our collision check module, click on the gantry looking icon up above. The collision check module is a space that you can use as a sandbox for planners to see if your plan has a good possibility of clearing before getting to your dry run day. You can make any changes in here, such as the couch rotation, and hit the apply button. You will always be warned that no changes made in this workspace will affect your plan. After calculating the new collision checks, you'll see that we have a red error here, and the different collisions that are on the bottom right corresponding to our gantry. We now know that there will be a collision expected, and so I can make necessary adjustments to get to a correct couch rotation that won't collide. To push the results to ClearCheck, simply click on the button up above to send your results. To access the admin application, go to the top right corner and find the network icon. Launching this will prompt you for a password. And once you're in, this is where you're going to be able to make changes that affect everyone on the Variant Image server. I hope this was able to give you a great overview of what's possible in ClearCheck. And if you have any questions, feel free to email us at support@radformation.com.